welcome to Cup to Hook conversation number 16. Today is Friday, July 3rd, and I am so excited to have you here with me today, and thank you for taking this time to hang out with me. What a wonderful and beautiful week it has been. The Christmas in July Fairies has been a phenomenal event for me and allowed me the opportunity to get to meet so many wonderful and fabulous people who share this strong passion of crocheting with me. I'm going to create a new word, pashating. Oh my gosh, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking with every one of you, and I know that I have not yet answered everyone yet, but I am diligently working on that in every hour that I have free. This is my long week at the hospital, so it has been quite a busy week, but I am getting to almost everyone, and I almost have everyone answered, and I'm hoping by the end of today that I will definitely have reached out to everyone who has responded. I want to say thank you again for all of your wonderful support and encouragement and kind words. I know that my video just kind of blundered somewhere in that uploading process. It happens. We continue to giggle about it here. If you can't laugh at yourself, then what can you laugh at? So my husband and I have had just a great time, just, kind of laughing over it and just loving the bond that it has created. What a wonderful, fabulous community you are. Now, I did upload the video again so that you could just see what it was supposed to be in its entirety. And several of you are commenting on that video. You're welcome to comment, but just know that the comment that you're leaving, that is not going to count when I come to do the YouTube random YouTube picker for the contest, for the winner, because I'm only going to do it on the video that was blundered. So make sure if you have left a comment on the one that is actually good, and it's called number 2, that you go and leave a comment on my original video. So, because I want to make sure that you have every opportunity to win the prize. So, and like I said, it's going to be a pretty good one because this is my first giveaway, and so I am excited about that. So what else has really gone on this week? I mean, what else is up? Well, for starters, my son, I appreciate all the prayers that I've been getting from you guys about helping him find a home. He's 21. He's ready to start his life. He is the baby. He's the youngest. So my husband and I will fully have an empty nest after this one. But we have a grandbaby on the way, so we won't be an empty nest for too long. But he finally found a house yesterday. Well, let's see, actually Wednesday evening. And then last night we went and put the security deposit down. So we are so excited. He's just a couple blocks actually from us, so that worked out great. So he's going to still be close to us, and he's going to be close to his job. So everything works out wonderful. Wednesday, July the 1st, was my husband's 50th birthday. So happy birthday to him. He is definitely my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, and I don't know where I would be when it comes to crocheting in general without him. I am going to be putting out a special little video next week, but this man on his way home on his birthday stopped at Walmart, and our local Walmart had several things that were on sale in the yarn section. And oh my gosh, he came home with a ton of stuff for me. So I will be doing a special video later next week that kind of just shows about my husband's birthday journey for me. Amazing man. Stole my heart and made it better. And then the last thing is, this is July 4th weekend. So happy July 4th to everyone. I hope you have fun. I hope you stay safe. And I hope you are able to spend it with some of your family and friends. But if not, I know that we're all celebrating in our hearts, because staying home right now is the safest thing. But I will tell you that my husband and I do plan on spending this weekend some with our oldest son and his wife and little baby bump grandbaby at the lake. And so we are excited to have this opportunity to spend some time with them, because even though they live 30 minutes away from us, we have not seen them in quite some time, especially with all the exposure that I've had to COVID. We were kind of trying to keep our distance, but it has been enough time. So we're just going to give it a go in the outdoors. And my youngest son and his girlfriend may be joining us later than in the weekend. So exciting, exciting. So what is in your cup today? What are you drinking? Well, on this fine Friday morning, I am just simply drinking some good old ice water. It's already warm outside, so a beautiful start to a July 4th weekend. So I'm happy for that. So let me know what's in your cup today. And what is on your hook this week? What have you been working on? Have you completed anything? Have you started anything new? So let me know, what are you working on? I got several responses from you guys, so let's kind of go over those, and then I will show you what's on my hook. So let me see here. So Jeannie's Crochet Creations said that she is working on a Weeby doll, and she's got the parts done. And she is working on a Rivulet shawl. I love shawls. And Jeannie, I'm not even sure I know what a Weeby doll is. So please, if you will, explain that a little bit further. And when I get an opportunity this afternoon to answer your comment, I will ask that question as well. And many of you may know what that is, but even in all these years of crocheting, I'm not sure I know what that is. So excited to learn new things. And she told me that, excuse me, last week I talked about how I thought I was going to be able to go live, and discovered that Facebook had changed it from 100 to 1,000 to be able to do it on your mobile. And she confirmed that they did change that a while back, and that it does have to be 1,000. But one day, we will be there one day. We are hopeful. Katie Groom said that she is working on her first waffle stitch blanket. So how exciting. I love it when we do things for the first time. And she is working on a pocket shawl. Those pocket shawls have gone just, I think, global. Everyone is wanting those. And I've actually had someone reach out to me and ask me if I would make one. And I am going to do that. I'm waiting on her to let me know what color she wants it done in. But in the meantime, I have been working on creating my own pattern because I want to be able to do it as a tutorial. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to be able to bring that to you sometime this month. So on our Wednesday on the Hook. So if you are wanting to do a pocket shawl, I'm going to be offering that up as a work along series. It may not be the one that is circulating. The one that is circulating, that lady has put her pattern out. I think it's like $6, which is not bad at all. So definitely look into that. I will try to get that information. Let me make a note for myself so I can provide a link to her. And offer that up to you. All right, made a note for myself so I can get that information for you. But I will be making my own so that we can do a tutorial on it. All right, and Kathy was drinking coffee last week when we were together with our chats. So Helen, and I'm going to pray that I may say your name right. If I mispronounce it, I am truly sorry. But let's give it a go. Helen Shimkowski. She says She usually buys yarn first unless she finds a project that she wants to do. And she said she needs a wall of shells for her yarn because right now they're in totes and sometimes she forgets what she buys. And Helen, that was exactly my issue too. I had them, like I said, in laundry baskets in the bottom of my armoire, and I had them in totes, and I didn't know what I had. And then I might know that something might have been in the bottom, but I didn't want to pull everything out to get to it, so I would just buy more yarn. This way, I can see what I have. I know when I have way too much, which I already have way too much, but you can't ever have way too much yarn, can you? I don't think so. Anyway, I got my shells. They're two sets back here, and there were, what was it, 1 2 3 4 5, so there's 20 little shells on one set, so I have a total of 40 shells, and I got these on Amazon, and if I remember correctly, I paid like $60 for one set. So, and they just snapped together. And my wonderful husband did that. And then I just put all my yarn in there. So hopefully that's a suggestion and helpful. And let's see. I cannot read my own handwriting. Looks like Dr. Hook is making a 5-point star Afghan and a leapfrog granny shawl. Do you know I bought a pattern a while back, like I'm talking maybe 6-7 years ago, to do a 5-point star Afghan, and I think I got it from Annie's Crochet Club, and I've never made it. So might be a kickstart for me to do that later this year or the first of next year. So I am so excited. Thank you for all your comments. All right, so what is on my hooks? Well, you know, we've been busy with the Hat Not Hate project. And so we've been making 7 different hats to send out to that. And also sometime next week, I will have a video out showing all the hats that were made, all the hats that I'm going to be sending off. And we have finished that this past week with our last Fun Day Monday episode. And that was creating what we called the Joy Hat. And this was the hat that we made for that. And so I made a couple more just to have like a variety, just to play around and to finish up some skeins of yarn that I had started over the last several weeks making these hats. And so I made 2 more Joy hats, just using up some of that yarn. And then back on the grit stitch, I had made 1 more. I actually kind of adjusted the pattern a little bit, so I might even put out another tutorial down the road redoing and revising the grit stitch hat, because I actually came up with a way that I liked it worked up a little bit better than the tutorial we had done. So, but I love that color. That came out really, really pretty. And then I had designed another hat pattern. And this is why last Friday I did not tell you in advance what the name of the hat was going to be, because I was working on 2 different ones, which was the Joy hat and this one. And in the end, I decided to go with the Joy hat because I felt like that was a great way to end the project with kind of a joyful bang. And it was a little bit easier stitch to do than this one. But I did a hat with the herringbone stitch, which I'm going to tell you I love. And I would love to make a baby blanket using this herringbone stitch. I don't know if you can see that really closely, but I just love the way that stitch worked out. And I actually made another one that's a little bit shorter than this one. And then on this one, I just did the little ribbed edging. But on this one, I kind of did like the little cross stitch stitch around the bottom. I don't know if you can see that very well. There you go. That might show up a little bit better. Just to give it a little bit of a kind of decoration. So that has kept me busy this past week as well, on top of working and looking at houses and whatnot for my son. And then the last thing is I haven't weaved in my tail yet, but we have completed the blanket for the corner to corner. And now all we have to do is put the border on. So we will be doing that next Wednesday. So that is what is on my hook. And unfortunately, with everything going on, I did not get to do enough of the Elvis blanket to really warrant showing you today. So I'm going to quit making a promise that I'm going to do more and show you, because I don't like to make promises that I can't keep. So, but hopefully next week. All right, so what do inquiring hooks want to know this week? I had several questions come in. So let's see. One of the first questions was, what is a great beginner project? A great beginner project would be maybe doing washcloths, dishcloths, or even hot pads. The great thing about them is, as you're learning and as you're practicing your tension and the stitches, it doesn't really matter what they turn out like, because they'll still wash dishes. And if the hot pads are thick enough, they'll still be able to grab a hot plate. So it doesn't matter if it's, you know, a little wonky and not a full square, because you're trying, you're practicing. So that would be a great beginner project. And I do have some tutorials available, and I can add them in the link here. So let me make a note to add those links in the bottom. To make dishcloths, and I did one with the single crochet, the half double crochet, and the double crochet. So I will be sure and include those, so you can just go click on them right from this video. And let's see what else. And just make sure, if you are doing dishcloths or washcloths or pot holders, you want to use the cotton yarn, because it can withstand the heat, whereas, you know, your acrylic yarn can catch on fire really quickly. So, what makes a chain or project twist? If you're not keeping your foundation straight and your tension the same as you're making your foundation chain, it can cause it to do like a curlicue twist. So you want to make sure, as you're practicing, that you're working on the tension and keeping the tension the same, so that the loops are the same size. And then as you start to do the first row after your foundation chain, you want to make sure you're keeping that foundation chain straight. Otherwise, if you're twisting it and then going into the stitch, it's going to create like a curlicue on you. And someone asked, what size is the grit stitch hat tutorial? All the hats that we did were designed for an adult head. That is what the Hat Not Hate project asked for. And even though these hats are going out to children, they said that the adult size hats were going to fit these school-age children. So all of them were designed for an adult. So if you're wanting to make it for a child, a smaller child, then you would just decrease the number of stitches that you do in your circumference, you know, like the width that you want the bottom of the hat to be. An adult size hat, anywhere between 60 and 70 stitches is a good circumference. And just depending on how small the child is, you know, if you're doing an infant, you know, it's not going to take very many, and so forth. So if that doesn't answer your question, and I will comment on your comment in your comment, then let me know and we'll work up the size that you need. Okay. And let's see. Susan Aguilera says, will I be making something special for the Christmas in July? We are going to be doing a Christmas project next after the corner to corner blanket, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get down to that segment. So stay tuned. The whip window with Rochelle says that she loves watching the subscription box unboxings, which a lot of people do as they're trying to figure out which box is going to work best for them and to see what special yarn is inside each box. Rochelle says that she loves yarn. She sees yarn and it inspires her. But other times, like when she's making her storybook blankets, which I think is so exciting, she'll often go hunt for the perfect yarn for those storybook blankets. And so that's kind of something like what the Jada and Stitches blanket is from last year that I have yet to finish up, which I'm really, really hoping on my short week next week will be something that I will be able to finally show you as well. And that is something else that I'm kind of working on, kind of in an ocean theme for next year for us to do as a year project. So I'm really excited about that. And let's see, what else do we have here? Lisa's Crochet says she really, really loves my hoodies. And she asked if those were my design. And part of it was inspired by the Crochet Dog, D-A-W-G. He originally made the pattern. And I have an issue, not that I do it on purpose, but I tend to have a tendency where I look at a pattern and as I am creating something following that pattern, I guess because I have an overactive creative mind, I sometimes change the patterns up. And that's what happened when I was doing my very first one from my middle son, the Southwestern Aztec one. I was following his pattern because at that time I had no idea that I was even going to ever start doing a YouTube channel. And I changed it up. So in the end, it's partly his pattern, but it's also partly mine. Now with my sons that I did the Southwestern Aztec on, I did do a lot of detail work on his. If you haven't seen that video, please be sure and go check it out. And let's see here. Wendy Schmidt says she's making a Red Heart Super Saver baby blanket. The Crochet Nurse, whose name is Sheila, she thanked me for the Lether Co. unboxing. And she said she loved the yarn and she can't wait to see what I'm going to make with it. And that was, I don't have it sitting right here, but it's a very kind of beautiful orange rustic color. And I'm thinking, I know I'm going to make something for myself with it, which is not something I do very often. And I'm really thinking I'm going to make me a little beanie hat to wear this winter. So we'll see. Stay tuned, Sheila. And Cheryl Sellen congratulated me on being a grandmother and told me that I'm going to be very busy in a few months. And I can't wait to be that kind of busy. So I'm excited. And I did hear from my daughter-in-law this week, and she had another doctor's appointment. We do not know if it's a boy or girl yet, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks we may know. But if not, it does not matter. We're going to love this baby regardless. I already do. And I can't wait to hopefully maybe see if the baby's kicking this weekend. Well, the baby's kicking, but not so to the point that you can feel it. But I do hope that my son is the first to experience that before any of the rest of us, although I'm quite anxious myself. All right, let's see, what else? Oh, back on Wendy. Wendy said she was making that Red Heart Super Saver baby in lemon citron. And I imagine that is just beautiful. Yellow is just such a beautiful color anyway. So Wendy, you'll have to show us pictures when you're done. All right. I think that ends all of our cozy chats. A little behind on my sign. And let's see. So let's just take a look real quick at all the videos that came out this week. We did the Yarn Voyage 3, where I introduced the orange, yellow, and purple acrylic yarns that are on my shelf. And then we had the Fun Day Monday, the Joy Hat, and the Whip Window with Rochelle. So that was a great tutorial. So thank you, Rochelle. I appreciate your encouragement. And Christmas in July Fairies #2 video came out. And again, if you responded or commented on that one for your comment for the contest drawing, please, please, please make sure you go over to the original one that was blundered and put your comment there, because that's the one that's going to, the YouTube comment picker is going to pick from. So it will not be from the #2 one that came out perfect. All right. And then we had the Lether Co. hooks video. Robin Lawson says that they are beautiful hooks. Linda Gonzalez says they look gorgeous. Wendy McJanet says, ooh, stunning. And are they comfortable? And Robin Lawson wanted to know that as well. And yes, they are very, very comfortable. I cannot again, I mean, this is my favorite hooks to use. So I am trying to make sure that I acquire at least one full set of these hooks. And I promise you that somewhere down the road, I will be giving one of these hooks as a giveaway. So we will just have to wait and see. So maybe on my 1,000th subscriber. How about that? Because those are really nice hooks. So if you're interested, I suggest just try one. I promise you, you will not go wrong. I love them, and it doesn't matter how thick the wooden hooks are, just the way they're designed. I mean, you can grip it very easily. However, you know, you crochet whichever method you use. And they just, I mean, they just help my hands. Like, I don't have the pain in my hands that I normally would have. So yes, they are very, very comfortable. And let's see, on the corner to corner blanket video, which was the last video we put out, Denise Hoffman said, so pretty. And then I did have a comment from a David Parker that was just giving us a advertisement to go to another link. And David, I don't think that your advertisement is great for my channel. So if you will not post any more of those, if someone wants to go look at those kind of websites, then they can do it through other means, but not through my channel. So I appreciate if you would not do that anymore. All right, so how's the view looking from here, you guys? Thank you so much. This past week, I had 778 new views. I had 143 new subscribers and 16.1 new watch hours. So thank you for that progress. And so that leads us to today, Cut to Hook Conversations. So last week, our question was, who is someone in your life that if there were a National Hero Award, you would name them as a candidate? And I asked if you would consider sending me a letter at the P.O. box listed in my subscription box, or sending me an email, just a short little paragraph, just thanking the nurses at the hospital that I work at in the ER. They do a phenomenal job every single day. And right now we are seeing more and more and more and more COVID patients, but we are also continuing to see other life-threatening matters and accidents that no one can plan for. And they just have the most wonderful and awesome bedside manner. And you couldn't ask for a greater team. And a lot of people don't see that. Yes, the individual patients do, but right now, I mean, they are just busier than ever, and they are just sacrificing so much. And I know that their hearts would not be in any other place. So to me, it's important to give back. And it's one thing if I say, oh my gosh, you guys are doing an amazing job. But if I could get a couple people to just, you know, say thanks to them and encourage them, I just know that it would just make their day and mean so much more. So if you will, just drop a short little paragraph saying thank you to them, either to the P.O. box that I've listed in the description box below, or if you'll just send me an email to my email and I can print it off and put it on the bulletin board for them. So I would appreciate that. But let me know, who is your hero? And so the question for this week is, do you like to watch TV or listen to music when you crochet? So I do. I can't stand quietness. Well, I shouldn't say that, because sometimes I do enjoy the quiet. That's why I actually like to crochet sometimes outdoors. And even though I'm outside and I might be by myself, it's not really quiet, I guess, because I hear things. I hear things like the wind in the trees, and I hear the birds chirping and singing, and maybe crickets from time to time, and a cat meow or a dog bark. So it's actually quite melodic. But I do like to sit and watch TV sometimes while I am crocheting. I get caught up in Netflix and, you know, some binge watching and whatnot, and watching different series and different movies. I just got through crocheting a lot of those hats, watching a series. There was 3 seasons, and it was on Netflix, and it was called Anne with an E, and it was about Anne of Green Gables, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. But then sometimes I just like to sit and listen to music, and sometimes I'll actually listen to music, and then sometimes on my TV I will click to a station that plays landscape music. And it could be anything from ocean waves to crickets chirping to classical music. It's just very soothing and relaxing. And then sometimes I like listening to Christian music, and sometimes I just like listening to country music. So I do a little bit of both. So let me know, do you listen to music or watch TV or both when you're crocheting? And Fun Day Monday. So this past Fun Day Monday, we finished our last hat for the Hat Not Hate project, and it was the Joy hat. And this coming Fun Day Monday, in lieu of the question I had about a chain, I decided that we're going to do a tutorial on how to make a foundation chain. So if you are new and that is something that you are interested in or having difficulty with, then hopefully this tutorial will be for you. And then Wednesday on the Hook, this past week, we completed the body of our corner to corner blanket with the decreasing rows. And this coming Wednesday on the Hook, we will be completing the blanket in its entirety by adding a cute, quick little border around it. So then if you will join me next Friday, I will share with you what our new project is going to be, so you can start getting ready for it. And I will tell you that it will be inspired by Christmas, from the Christmas in July fairies. So it's something that you can start working on and hopefully give away as Christmas gifts. All right, and it is time for our Joy Basket moments, a time for me just to encourage you and just give you some things to think about throughout the next week until we come back together. And so this one is entitled His Banner Over You. And this is kind of in lieu of our COVID situation, but it says, we face times of success when unexpected problems sneak up from behind and stun us. When this happens, look for God's banner to give you courage. When God is your strength and focus, you cannot fail. Victory comes from God. So keep your eyes on Him and His unfailing character, and He'll certainly honor you for it by leading you to triumph. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of us are dealing with COVID in a bad way. We might be dealing with other things. Death of a loved one, a sick baby, a loss of a job, struggling to find a job, struggling to find a way to make our bills, keeping enough food on the table, keeping our home cool and air conditioned or warm with heat. So there's other things that we might be going through that have just kind of snuck up on us. I know a neighbor had a hot water heater go out and really doesn't have the finances for it. So things just sneak up on us when we least expect it. And we think everything is going great. And then all of a sudden, boom, something just catches us. But just know that God's got you. And if you keep your eyes and focus on Him, He will lead you to triumph. So whatever you're going through this week that has just snuck up on you, know that there's hope and know that God does have you. And He will get you through. So love share. Oh my goodness, I have so many folks to share. And so what I'm going to do in just a minute is I'm going to pop up some names, and the first 20 names are going to be names of just some of my new subscribers that have made their names public. And I just want to shout out a big thank you to each and every one of you. So I'm going to read your names off. And then after I list 20, then I am going to list 5 subscribers, new subscribers, that actually have YouTube channels listing their YouTube sites so that you can go check them out as well. And then next week I will come back and I will continue to love share more of my subscribers with you so that I make sure that everyone has a love shout from me. So we're going to start with, these are just subscribers that do not have a YouTube channel, but that I want to say thank you to. So on this slide here, I have Glenda Humphrey, Diane Thurowman, Mel Hartley, Karen Lee Layton, and Angelina Crafts. On this slide, I have first name, last name, Charlene Catherman, Karen Smith, Carol Ray, and Monica Steph. On this slide, I have Cheryl Herrera, Antonia Broderick, Karen Allen, Jane Patrick, Jeanette Lampson Seidel. And on this one, Wendy Schmidt, Darla Antonio, Patricia Lopez, Seller Raluca, and Cindy Smith. And if I didn't call your name out, stay tuned week to week, because I will make sure that everyone gets a love shout from me. So all of these were ladies. So I just want to say thank you for your encouragement. I hope that the content that I bring you every week, you will find helpful, interesting, will bring you laughter and joy, and that you'll continue to hang out with us and let me come hang out with you. So now I'm going to call out all the names of the 5 subscribers that are podcasters that have their own YouTube channel. And at the very end of this video, I am going to list their names with their actual YouTube links. I will also list them in the description box below. So if you don't want to jot them down, that's okay. You can just go to the description box and click on their links. But please be sure and go check out their channels and give them support. So those 5 people are Vanessa, Call Me V, Christmas on Crestline, Affordably Crafty, Crafty Bones, and the crochet nurse known as Sheila. Well, that ends our video for today. So hang on to the end so you can see those wonderful names come across. But until next week, be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, and go make your own joyful creations and just let the creativity flow. Bye, guys.